Hello YouTube, and welcome to a very quick and short car boot haul video. So we didn't find an awful lot today. The weather was poor to say the least, but it turned out to be a really nice sunny day. Like you can see out there, lovely sunshine. It was like that by about 9 in the morning, although it did start raining again more like 10:30, 11. So it put a lot of people off. So not many people selling and lots of buyers fighting over the same 50p pieces. But hey ho, that's how she goes sometimes. So hopefully my mum's going to be happy because we found this entire box full of sort of doll's house bits and pieces. There's 4 of these whole bags full of bits, and she wanted a £5 for the tub, so that'd be grand for her. This lady wanted a £5 for this bathroom set. Now the other bits in there are wrapped up and are just like the china toilet, which is cracked now. I can see them being glued back together. But realistically, I think she'll just like that bit. You very rarely see them all dolled up like that, but with all their bits and pieces. So paid a £5 for that. So that's tenner's worth of doll's house stuff for mother there. First thing I bought was this sword here for D&D. I asked the lady how much it was. She said 20p. I thought for 20p, doesn't matter if I got 2 of them. And then she handed me this and was like, have that as well. And I was arguing no. And she was like, no, you make good use out of it. You take it. So now I've got to throw it in the bin. Oh, that's the other thing. I've been racking my brain trying to figure out what I spent the other £1 on. That is part of a bundle, this big sword. We'll come back to it later. I imagine it lights up or makes a noise or a sound or something, but it's obviously dead now. This is little Beans. Say hello, Beans. There's Beans. So this is a nice little sword. This should be a good one for D&D. So nice little sword there. That was £1 and came in a bundle. And she found some vintage toys. Some of the ladies inside that have been there every week for years and years and years had this nice little Thundercats figure. I asked how much this Thundercats figure was, and they went, yeah. I said, no, how much money would you like? What do I need to pay to take ownership of this? And they've just stumped. I'm sure they just don't sell very much. And so when you actually ask them a price of things, they're like, what? What do you mean? I don't understand. But yeah, they wanted £1 for that. And they wanted £1.50 for Battle Cat. That does include the free snail in his gob there. I think this is a bootleg Battle Cat because I can't see any maker's marks on. Feels very cheap hollow plastic. But I have promised the people that own the Crown at Pilton that I would bring them their very own Battle Cat because they have a big bronze version of this. And I got chatting to them a few weeks ago and they were like, oh, if you've got a spare one, mate, bring it in. We'd love that. So yeah, I'm going to take that down to them. So that was £2.50 for those two. Again, some friendly people that I've bought quite a lot of bits from over time. They had they had these books and they wanted 50p each, and I miscounted. So that's my mistake. Sorry, guys. So I said there was 5, and there's actually 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I miscounted. So I first off bought these 5, but I thought there was 4. So I said to him, how much are your books? And she said 50p each. Well, I've never heard of EC Tub or the Varuchia, but I do really like the artwork. The Dummerest Saga, very cool artwork. So I went, yeah, I'll have that. And the Toy Man, I mean, that could be me, couldn't it? It really looks like me as well. Robert A. Heinlein Methuselah's Children. Again, I don't know anything about these. Robert Heinlein, again, the Star Beast, bit beaten up, but interesting cover design. And another EC Tub, Derai, the Dumrest Saga 2. So I bought those for, well, actually 5, but bought them for £2. And then I saw they had this. Now, there's a lady who occasionally sells little fairy things and goblin creatures, and she's got one of these, and she says they're rare, and she wants like £12 for it. I don't really like it. Says on the bottom, made in Norway. Don't know. Anyway, they wanted £2 for their creepy troll thing, so I thought I'll have their one for £2. Then I found another book, so I paid 50p for this one, even though it says £2. Tempo Books, Groove of Doom, The Weird Adventures of the Shadow. It looks alright, maybe? I don't know. Not really into booky things, but yeah, got that. And then he had these as well. Valve caps. A car ride accessory. Do people put these on their tyres? It seems very strange to me to do that. But I asked him how much. He said £2. I asked him for £1. He said no. Then I realised I'd overpaid or underpaid by 50p. So I thought, well, actually, £1.50 if he says £2, didn't he? So I had him for that. They might be worth something, hopefully. This from a totally different seller. This was 50p. Cowboys and Indians. 50p on that. Oh. Paid 50p each for these. So there's some weird like Tazo looking things and some football stickers. I'm not a fan of football, but these are from 1987. Maybe I could bundle those ones up. I don't know when the Corky, Croaky, Top Shots things are from. Again, maybe that could be a little bundle. Who knows? And these, I don't remember either. 1993. Dark Dominion trading card wrappers. Don't remember any of that. Very strange to see Sue with stuff like this. But again, 50p, so I thought worth a punt. We'll see if they hold any value, just as empty wrappers. Asked someone how much their DVDs were, and they said they were 20 to 50p each. So I was like, all right. And I found this. I've never heard of Trolleyed. I don't think it looks great. It does have one of the guys from Plebs in it. I don't know if the camera's focusing, but that's the guy with the big hair there. He was in Plebs, and he was pretty funny in that. So I thought I might be alright. It says it's by the same producers as People Do Nothing, so could be okay. 10 discs, 20p, 50p, you know, it's 2 to 5p a disc. It's not so bad. So I said, how much for your Trolleyed complete set? And they went, oh, that one's a box set, so that one's £2. Which, to be fair, I mean, she said 20 to 50p each. If you're talking individual discs and this has 10 discs, then I guess £2's a fair price, and I'm just being a cheeky so-and-so. But yeah, it cost me £2 for 10 discs of Trolleyed. I mean, it must have been alright for it to run for 6 seasons, but I've literally never heard of it. It seems mental to me that I've never heard of it. And it went on for 6 seasons. But, I mean, I'm not the TV expert, am I? But there we go. £2 for that. Let's cover this before we show it. So this is something that you get given out at a very specific part of Glastonbury Festival, and Binks loves it. Beans loves it. Look at her go for it. So this contains a condom and lubricant, and then they give out these stick-on mustaches here, and these stick-on mustaches get you like a queue jump re-entry thing. So yeah, this girl works at Glastonbury. I've bought a few things for her over time. So she had that. And she had this clipper, which I don't know if it works. Oh, bloody hell, it does as well. Fair play. And then she had a few posters, which the cat is now sat on. De La Soul Live, Wednesday, 25th of October in Southampton or in Brighton. Support from A Skills, didn't see that. Addict. I'm imagining this is about early 2000s, this gig. Doesn't actually say the year on there, but the tickets are like £20 or £17.50. And then the posters that she had here, these are nice, get off it, little baby beans. These are really nice drum and bass posters. I mean, this is the lineup for me. Friction, Andy C, Mampy Swift, Pendulum, Adam F, Shy FX, Dynamite MC, Skibbity. That would have been a real good night out. 31st of December 2005. They don't have drum and bass events like that anymore. So I pulled out a couple of flyers. There's another poster there for Destiny 2006. Not quite such an impressive lineup. I mean, for me at least. Still got Mampy Swift on there and TC, but I just liked that it had the Stormtroopers on there. So I picked all that little lot up. What do you want for a couple of posters and your F pack from Glasto and that? And she said £1 for those. Couldn't be happy of paying £1 for stuff like that. She also had some little gemstones and crystals, and there was some people looking at them. And anything they put to one side I looked at. So this is some cool little statue from Peru. There's a little wooden mushroom and this little Buddha. I don't know if you can make him out very well. Maybe. So I think it's Moonstone, but I've said that before and I think I was wrong. So I don't know what he is. But she wanted £3 for that lot, and I thought, to be fair, that's fair considering the price she gave me on the other stuff. This little bundle here, I was racking my brain going, I picked this up. This is proper genuine Lego as well. This is a genuine Lego dinosaur. This is probably worth some money. I don't know how much, but I would think this is worth a fair few quid. Nothing crazy to write home about. Whoops. But worth something. I picked this up and something else up. And I asked her how much they were, and she was like, oh, a couple of quid. So I was like, oh, £1 each then. And she was like, oh, yeah, I guess. So I went, all right, what about your other dinosaurs? Because we bought a load of these the other week, didn't we? Very strange. Made a weird noise there. Now it stopped. Okay, so I said, how much for this one? She said, £1 for this as well, and £1 for this. So we were on £4, including that that sword. And I said, I'll try and find something else and make it up to £1. And she had some like 1990s pound puppy little figurines. And she was like, oh, you can have 2 of those for £1. I was like, come on, love. These are like 20p things. And then I found this. And I was like, what about this? And she was like, oh, you can have that for £1 as well if you like. So I don't think this is worth £1, to be honest. A living nature thing. I do like the fact that if it's got a little stretchy cord on the key ring, and if you pull it, its wings flap up and down. That is quite impressive. Probably going to try and cut the tags off and hang that up in the wall of the dungeon room. But anyway, spent a £5 on that, including the sword. There's a fella that's been car booting for a long time with his kid. He's got some very overpriced toys. For some reason, he had this little bag. Today, there's a sticker on it that said £1. I had a look at the bag, and he said you could have it for 50p. I saw there's a bit of Playmobil in there. These 2 figurines are just trash. There's a rubbish Cars car. There's a... Where's he go? There is a baby Grogu or Yoda or whatever he's called that goes in there. I don't know if it's genuine or not. There's some sort of miniature frog in there, which I reckon goes with it. He probably eats that. A little cheap plastic Cars thing and Luigi. But I thought for 50p, we'll find the Grogu. Got to be worth it for there. There he is. Ta-da! I bought this snake. That was £1. It's quite a big snake, nice rubbery thing. It does have a small cut in it here. And you see there's a tear in the skin, a bit of the fluff's coming out. But I thought this will go well for Dungeons and Dragons. So we'll dump that in the toy room, and maybe we'll go, oh, you're walking through the forest and you hear us. And then out pops the beans. We were talking about me needing a lamp for D&D, because although the dungeon room looks really good and it's set up really well, we need some small lamp that doesn't take up a lot of room, that doesn't shine the light in your eyes and blind you. This is the one. We came to the discussion that we needed one of those round table lamps that they can lean forward and lean back, and this extends, and then this can move. And literally days later, you go to Carboot, straight away found one. How much for this IKEA little table lamp, mate? £2, sold. I have one of these that keep the cats in when they're little problematic kittens, and they've managed to destroy it. So we got a new one, £2. And then last finds of the day, we had someone who was saying everything on the store 50p. So I got this cool mask, D&D. Got this 2010 Mattel. Whoops. I'm guessing this is Ken. Barbie and Ken things. Got a very soft head. This one, I'm guessing, is like Frozen. Maybe. Maybe it's not. I don't know. This one whose face looks a little bit more special education, potentially. This one, that's got to be like Snow White or Cinderella or Sleeping Beauty or something. And this one must be Princess Yasmin, I guess. Don't see an age on this, though. That says Simba Toys. Whoops, that's not a good sign. So maybe they are a bit more bootleggy. Anyway, they wanted 50p each for those, so it was £1, £2, £3. Just as I went to pay, they said, oh, if you're interested in Halloween stuff, because I bought that mask, we've got this giant inflatable dinosaur costume. So it's like a dinosaur skeleton, and then you wear it, and then you put batteries in, and it all like expands, and you look really big. So I said, how much is that? Then they wanted £1, so I ended up spending £4. When I got back, I checked the battery thing, and it's corroded, so might not work. Anyway, today we spent £4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 plus 5, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 50, 19, 50, 20, 30. We spent less than £35 all in today, so yeah. Not a huge haul, but still fun to get out. Found some cool stuff nonetheless. Take care, guys. Bye.